Welcome to another deep dive where we take, those sources that are uh, fascinating but dense and unpack them together. And today we're tackling Canibus Curriculum 101. If you haven't heard it, you can find it on C Radio and Spotify or Rippers Unite on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
But this song isn't just a song. It's more like a master class in, rhyme and metaphor. It's pretty dense, so we're here to break it down.
It is really complex.
Yeah, so let's dive in.
Absolutely.
Right away, we get this concept of a mic club. What's Canibus trying to say about hip-hop with that? Is he saying he's the, ultimate judge or something?
Oh, he's definitely positioning himself as like a demanding mentor figure, someone who sets a really high bar for aspiring rappers. There's a line where he says, "Explain the lyrical grand unified field so I can test your skill." So it's not just about rhyming for Canibus, it's about deep understanding and creative genius. He's elevating hip-hop to like this intellectual level.
So you need more than a catchy beat and a good flow. You need to be able to use language in a sophisticated way.
Exactly. And this idea of lyrical complexity is like woven through the whole song. He even says, technically, these words shouldn't even rhyme off paper.
Whoa.
So he's basically bending language to create these mind-blowing rhymes.
Yeah, you can definitely tell he put a lot of thought into his word choices. And it's not just the sounds right. He's layering meanings in his verses, too. Like, there's that line, "Bury me at the beach if the sea is out of reach. Because when I speak, what's fluid becomes concrete." What's going on there?
Yeah, that's a good example. From the
Okay.
surface, it sounds like he's talking about his, burial preference. But it's actually a really clever metaphor. What's more fluid than water?
Right.
And concrete is well solid. It's like he's saying that his words have weight. They solidify, they leave a lasting impact.
So it's not just a random line. It's actually like a commentary on the power of his words. That's pretty cool. But I gotta say, some of his references go over my head. He throws in a lot of scientific language and historical figures.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes his lyrics so challenging. Like when he mentions Samuel Dubios. Now, Dubios was a forensic psychologist. He actually testified at the trials of some pretty infamous criminals.
Oh, so he's bringing in real-life figures to make his point.
Exactly. Canibus is using Dubios to highlight the complexity of his own mind. Like he's saying, even experts struggle to understand me. It's like he's placing himself in a league of his own. And then there's the line about Harry Houdini's near-death experiences. What's fascinating there is he's drawing this parallel between Houdini's risk-taking and his own lyrical daring. They both push boundaries, confront danger, and leave the audience in awe.
So he's not just flexing his vocabulary, he's connecting these unexpected references to create a deeper meaning. That's pretty impressive.
It is. And he doesn't stop there. He directly challenges you, the listener, throughout the song. He'll ask things like, do you know how to paraphrase? Or do you even understand what the narrator is trying to say?
Yeah, sometimes I have to rewind his verses just to catch everything he's saying. He's not making it easy on us.
Right? He's demanding your attention, forcing you to actively engage with his lyrics. It goes back to that whole mic club concept. He's setting the bar high.
So to succeed in Canibus's mic club, you can't just string rhymes together. You have to demonstrate this sophisticated understanding of language history, even science.
Yeah, you have to put in the work.
You want you to earn it.
It's not just about entertainment. It's almost like he's presenting a whole curriculum for understanding hip-hop on a deeper level.
I love that. It's like he's turning the whole genre into an intellectual pursuit. Pretty fitting for a song called Curriculum 101.
Absolutely.
And we've only scratched the surface. There are so many layers to unpack in this song.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot more to cover.
So many clever wordplays and thought-provoking concepts. If you're up for the challenge, stick with us as we continue to decode Canibus's lyrical genius.
It's not just the wordplay, though. It's how Canibus uses imagery to bring these complex ideas to life.
Yeah, some of his lines are so vivid, almost like, crazy surreal paintings.
Exactly. Like when he talks about the subchemical deepness of his glandular excretions. I know that's not the most pleasant image.
Okay.
But think about what he's doing there.
Yeah, walk me through it.
He's saying that his rhymes are so potent, so full of meaning that they're almost like this physical substance, something that comes from deep within him. He's not just rhyming, he's pouring his essence into these words.
So it's a metaphor for the depth and complexity of his thoughts.
Precisely. And then he goes on to talk about glowing angelic gel spliced with bovine leukemia cells, which is juxtaposed with these images of demons in hell offering him techno-sorcery.
Okay, that's where I get a little lost. What's going on there?
Well, I think he's exploring this duality of his creativity. On one hand, there's this divine inspiration, this angelic gel, but then there's also this darker, more primal force at play. He's acknowledging that his creative process isn't always pretty. that it comes from both light and shadow.
So he's tapping into these different parts of himself, these opposing forces, to create these, like, extraordinary rhymes.
Right. And then he brings us back down to earth with this line, rock bottom transforms human beings to beasts. It's a stark reminder of the, you know, harsh realities that can shape us, the challenges that can push us to our limits.
Yeah, he even talks about our canine teeth as evidence of our primal instincts. It's heavy stuff.
It is, and it's not just about darkness. You also sense this vulnerability in lines like, I hope I've got time to repent before I die. Even amidst all this lyrical bravado, he's grappling with these big existential questions.
So he's not just this untouchable rhyme machine. He's a real person with fears and doubts.
Exactly. And then, bam, he hits you with this image of power and perspective, like a falcon up in the sky, 10,000 feet, looking down at you bitches, looking at me. It's like he's risen above the competition, seeing everything from this higher vantage point.
It's such a powerful image. He's not just rhyming. He's creating these whole worlds with his words.
And then there's this idea of constant evolution. He talks about phase shifting to 45 degrees, suggesting he's always changing his approach, staying ahead of the game. It's like he's this lyrical chess grandmaster, always thinking several moves ahead.
I never thought of it that way. But it makes sense. He's always experimenting, pushing the boundaries.
And it all comes back to this dedication to the craft. He says, I memorize the books that I read, sucking from the breast of knowledge, constantly weaning. He's portraying himself as this lifelong learner, always seeking new information, pushing his intellectual boundaries.
That's a great point. He's not just talented. He's incredibly disciplined. But he also recognizes that knowledge alone isn't enough.
Right. There's that line where he warns against being unbeseemingly a genius without meaning. It's like he's saying that intelligence without purpose can be empty, even dangerous.
So it's not enough to just be smart. You have to use your knowledge to create something meaningful.
Exactly. And that's where Canibus's lyrical genius really shines. He takes all this knowledge, all these complex ideas, and transforms them into something captivating and thought-provoking.
He's bridging the gap between the academic and the artistic, showing us that hip-hop can be both intellectually stimulating and emotionally resonant. That's what makes Curriculum 101 so special.
I agree. It's a dense song, for sure. He even acknowledges that his style is energetically inefficient, saying you need 10 times the enzymes to process one of my rhymes.
No kidding. I sometimes have to listen to his verses multiple times just to fully grasp what he's saying.
Right. But that's part of the challenge, part of the fun. He's inviting us to engage with his lyrics on a deeper level, to really think about what he's saying.
And that's what makes it so rewarding. It's like he's created this lyrical puzzle box.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to figure out how to unlock it.
And trust me, the rewards are worth the effort. So far, we focused mostly on the metaphors and the complex wordplay, but we haven't even touched on his flow yet.
Oh man, his flow is crazy good. It's like he bends words and rhythms in ways I never thought possible.
He'll switch up his cadence, pause at unexpected moments, then suddenly speed up, creating this rhythmic roller coaster. It's like he's playing with time itself, manipulating the beat to fit his lyrical vision.
Exactly. And his rhyme schemes are so precise. He uses all these like internal rhymes and multisyllabic rhymes that create these intricate patterns.
It's like he's weaving a tapestry of sound, where each word is carefully chosen for its sonic impact. And you know he's not exaggerating when he says, academic journals print my lyrical quotes, they show parallelism in all the albums I wrote. People have literally written academic papers analyzing his lyrics.
It's true. He's been studied and dissected like a classic piece of literature. It speaks to the depth and sophistication of his work.
Absolutely. He's not just a rapper. He's a poet, a wordsmith, a master of language.
But let's get back to this Mic Club concept.
Yeah.
He keeps throwing down these challenges, testing the listener's, lyrical fitness.
Right. It's like he's saying, can you even understand what I'm saying, let alone replicate it? He's not looking for imitators. He's looking for those who can take his ideas and build on them, push the boundaries even further.
And there's that image of baptizing new members with Jamaican white rum and water. It's playful, but it also suggests a kind of initiation ritual, like welcoming them into this exclusive community of lyricists.
Exactly. It's not just about competition, it's about mentorship, about passing on the torch to the next generation.
If you want to be a master, you got to put in the work.
And it's not just about technical skill, it's about having something to say. He reminds us that if you've got 100 bars, then I know you're a warrior.
Yeah.
True lyrical power comes from a combination of skill and substance.
You can rhyme all day long.
Oh.
But if you don't have anything meaningful to say, it's all just empty noise. Canibus gets that.
He does, and he doesn't let anyone off the hook. Not even himself. There's a sense of self-awareness, even self-criticism in his lyrics.
Yeah, like when he says, don't rhyme like I used to, but I still got skills. He's acknowledging that his style has evolved.
Right, but he's still confident.
And that's what makes him so compelling. He's not afraid to experiment, to push boundaries, to challenge himself and his listeners.
He's a true innovator, always searching for new ways to express himself through language.
And that's what makes Curriculum 101 such a rewarding listen. It's a journey into the mind of a lyrical genius, a masterclass in wordplay, and a testament to the power of hip-hop as an art form. So we've covered a lot of ground here, breaking down the metaphors, analyzing the rhyme schemes, and exploring this whole mic club concept. What does this all mean for us, the listeners?
I think Canibus is challenging us to listen more closely, to engage more deeply with the lyrics we hear. He's showing us that hip-hop can be more than just entertainment. It can be a source of knowledge, inspiration, and even intellectual stimulation.
He's raised the bar for what's possible with language, and he's inviting us to step up our game. But it's not just about being clever with words, right?
Absolutely. In Curriculum 101, Canibus doesn't shy away from social commentary. He tackles some pretty heavy topics like power inequality and the darker side of human nature.
Yeah, we haven't really delved into that aspect of the song yet. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that.
Let's dive into that next. I think you'll find that Canibus's social commentary adds a whole other layer of meaning to Curriculum 101, making it even more relevant and thought-provoking.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so let's talk about that social commentary in Curriculum 101. Because Canibus isn't just, playing with words. He's making some pretty sharp observations about the world.
Yeah, it's like he's holding up a mirror to society.
Exactly.
And making us confront some uncomfortable truths. What are some of the themes that stand out to you?
Well, there's this idea that the world doesn't always reward those who deserve it. Like when he says, they tell me the meek will never inherit the world because they're weak standing on two 12-inch feet.
It's like he's critiquing those power dynamics.
Yeah.
How those who are perceived as weak or vulnerable are often overlooked.
Exactly. He's questioning who really holds the power and challenging those traditional ideas about strength. And then there's that line, why the fuck you think we got canine teeth? It's the optical stimuli of watching men cry.
Whoa, okay, that one's intense. What do you think he's getting at there?
I think he's connecting our primal instincts to the violence we see in the world. Forcing us to think about the roots of aggression and how it shows up in human behavior.
It's like he's saying we're not that far removed from animals.
Yeah.
That we still have these primal urges.
Right. And it's not just physical violence. He also talks about the emotional toll of poverty and inequality. Like that line, rock bottom transforms human beings to beasts. He's suggesting that being in desperate situations can push people to their limits.
So our social environment has a huge impact on who we become.
Absolutely. He's weaving this social commentary throughout the song.
Adding another layer to Curriculum 101.
Exactly.
It's like he's saying, look, I can rhyme with the best of them, but I also have something to say about the world.
Right. He doesn't give any easy answers, but he makes you think critically about the world and question things.
It's not just about rhyming. It's about social awareness, taking responsibility, and the power of words.
Yeah, he's using his platform to shine a light on some of the things that matter.
It's powerful stuff.
It is, and it's one of the reasons why Canibus is so important in hip-hop. He's shown that the genre can be about more than just music. It can be a place for intellectual discussion, social commentary, even philosophy.
And Curriculum 101 still feels relevant today. The themes he's talking about, power, inequality, the human condition, they're timeless.
Absolutely. His lyrical style with its complex metaphors and rhyme schemes still sounds fresh, even after all these years.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Curriculum 101, what's the takeaway for our listeners?
I think Canibus is showing us that hip-hop can be more than just entertainment. It can be a powerful way to express yourself, to talk about social issues, and to explore big ideas. He's challenging us to really listen to the words we hear and appreciate how language can be used, and to use our own voices to make a change.
He's saying that music can make you think, help you grow, and even change society. That's an amazing legacy for any artist. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time when we explore another fascinating topic together.